Some of you guys hate it, some of you guys love it, but today we're going to be doing paper on the walls. Now the paper technique is not something that we've created, but just something that we've modified to fit our needs. And it basically involves gluing paper to the wall to create a texture. Now if you guys want to learn all about this whole process, I can really suggest just looking up brown bagging
walls.
Yeah, brown bagging even.
People do floors too.
Floors are really popular. People used to do like walls back in the day, in the 90s. They would use brown craft paper, which is that like paper bag material, and they would rip it up into chunks. Some people crinkle it up before gluing it to give it a leathery look. We don't do that. That's preference. You can leave it smooth or you can make it wrinkled. And we're going to be gluing it right to the wall and sealing it in. If you guys look up the brown bagging technique, it involves putting a clear sealer on it to create a really cool mottled effect with light and dark browns. We're not doing the modeling effect, we're just going for the texture of these layers of paper with the ripped lines kind of overlapping, and it creates a
kind of like
subtle,
a plastery look to it.
Yeah. Now that you guys know what it is, we're going to get working and start gluing these to the wall. So our drywall just has primer on it right now, and we're just going to start gluing right on the drywall primer. So normally you do this technique with rolls of brown paper or paper bags. Well, you can find the rolls of brown craft paper at the hardware store in the paint department usually. We happened to buy white paper because we were experimenting, and that's how we got into this whole process, was just experimenting with alternative finishes to paint, and any thick paper will work. Ashley's using a GH34 wallpaper paste.
And then fold it over when you have it pasted and set it off to the side, and you can get a bunch of these ready. Folding it over keeps it moist so it doesn't dry out fast.
Peel it back open. Start sticking. There. When you put the paper on, you gotta overlap them, but how much you overlap is up to you. The more you overlap, the more paper you're gonna need to get your job done. Alright guys, so here it is. We got a lot of the wall done. You can start seeing this texture. We're not worried about these bubbles. Those are gonna go away as this dries. And just wanted to show you the progress. Looks bad, but it looks good. I'm also doing the ceiling, working my way around the light over here. My plan is to kind of do this whole area just right here. All right, the paper's done. I got all this wall done around the door and up on the ceiling. I'm not covering the wall back here. You guys might notice that. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but right here, because it's actually gonna be covered by a cabinet that goes floor to ceiling right there. So right now, if I was doing the brown paper bag technique, I could coat this with the Guards Problem Surface Sealer right now, even wet, and you'll get that really cool modeling effect as it dries, where you have the lights and darks and all that stuff. So if you had a colored paper or brown paper, start sealing it right after you're done pasting it for the best effect. We don't have to do that because we're going to be painting our walls, so we're just going to let it dry like normal. So the paper is dry and ready for paint. I actually already painted the ceiling just because we're keeping it white, so I went ahead and got that done. This wall, I'm going to be painting it the same color as over here, this kind of tan color. So I'm going to go ahead and get the paint on the paper. But before I do that, I wanted to show you the texture. See if you can catch it in the sunlight here. See, it looks pretty cool already. I had just enough paint to get it done. It looks really awesome. It's still drying, but it's almost dry. And you can see over here, it's not finished and it's a little thin through here. This will all be covered when we're done with the kitchen. So I'm actually not worried about this. You won't see any of this wall up into here. So up close, this is what it looks like. You can actually see that paper really well. All kinds of texture on the wall going on, really unique. And most people would be like, whoa, how'd they do that? And it's just glued paper, so that's our little trick. And it's looking pretty awesome. I really like it. I think this is perfect and exactly what we were going for. It's extra work, but for us, it's worth it. And I wanted to come into the bathroom and show you the finished wall in here again. This is what it looks like white, and again, it looks really awesome, especially with the wall lighting, because it really casts shadows against that texture. So that's all there is to it. Seal or prime the walls, rip paper, glue it on the wall, and then paint over it.
Yep.
If you're doing the brown paper technique, instead of paint, you'd use the clear Guards Problem Surface Sealer. You're going to get a really cool mottled effect. That's not what this video is about though. We just wanted to show our process of what we were doing. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and watching us do this technique one last time. We might sneak a couple more clips in throughout our videos in the future, but we're not going to show this anymore. You guys get it.
Yeah.
That's all we have for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
Some people really dread these videos because they don't like the papering technique, or they just don't want to sit through another papering video. But don't worry, this is almost the last papering video. By showing it now in full detail, we can kind of skip ahead in the future videos and just get the rooms done. That's our goal, is to just kind of fly through them, and then we don't really have to show a lot of the papering because we don't really want to keep showing paper. We might show a glimpse of it here and there, but this is our way of kind of wrapping up all of that for the rest of the house. Because we do get a lot of questions about the technique. People like it, they like the texture, they think it's cool. You know, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how it covers the paneling, because I think it'll cover up all those paneling lines, so it could be a good solution for hiding paneling.
Yeah.
There are some advantages to it, but to be honest with you, we're doing this technique because we were experimenting with the idea of not using paint. We wanted to see if we can get away with using paper as an alternative to paint, and that didn't work out. We're going to end up painting these because it just doesn't look right. Maybe if we had a colored paper it'd look better, but the white paper just isn't working for us. It's
too see-through if you just seal it with a clear sealant.
It takes a lot of time. It's very slow. It's extra cost. It's probably not worth it for most people to do this.
Unless you specifically wanted the look.
If you want that look or want to hide problem walls, maybe you have cracked plaster or something and you're just trying to mend it up, it might work. But it is slow, and it is cost, and I don't know if it's really worth it. The only reason we're continuing to do it, I think, is because we started it and we want our walls to be really consistent. We don't want some of the rooms to have this texture and then other rooms don't, and it kind of looks mismatched. So we want everything to flow. So we got to carry through with what we started. And this whole technique is about just experimentation. Kind of like we said, we were experimenting. So there's no wrong way to do it. Try different glues, different papers, different techniques, wrinkle, don't wrinkle. There's all different ways. Just have fun with it if you are going to do it, but you know.
Yeah.